Tipping culture is out of control. So I was ordering delivery the other day when I realized that my order was much more expensive than I initially thought. Turns out they had pre-selected my tip along with, of course, small order fee, service fee, greedy corporate fee, diabetes fee, and this other random fee that I'm putting in because, I don't know, you're obviously gonna order because you're hungry and you want some goddamn food. They had this option called most common tip, and it was like $2 or something, and the amount is not really important there. It's more like, listen, that's some entitlement right there, right? Tipping should be out of the goodness of my heart, not really just like, you know, you have to do this because everybody else is doing it. Now, I order a lot of food, okay? Like an unhealthy amount of food. It's definitely one of my vices and I should probably stop. But turns out that food delivery apps are the devil and I am the devil's little bitch. But things are getting a bit too far nowadays, and for some reason, the employees are actually mad at the customers for not tipping them rather than being mad at their multi-million-dollar bosses or giant mega corporations. Like, dude, you're not supposed to be mad at me. Be mad at your boss for not paying you a living wage so that you have to go, you know, guilt trip customers into giving you tips. It's really not my fault that your boss is an inhuman douchebag. So here we have a tweet that's gotten a bunch of traction. Oh, you don't want a tip? And it shows an employee spraying Raid, which is like a bug spray for ants and roaches apparently, into a McDelivery, basically poisoning the food. Now, it goes without saying that this is an absolutely insane thing to do. Like, just because you didn't get the tip you wanted, you're out here poisoning people's food. You know, the effect this has on me is actually tremendous because now this has scared me so much that I feel the need to tip on every single interaction or every single service I receive for the rest of my life, because now I'm just gonna be paranoid that I didn't tip the guy and now my food's gonna be poisoned. Now, this is not normal. You obviously need mental help here, and while cockroach killer doesn't really kill humans, it does have some dastardly side effects. Some patients may experience symptoms such as headaches, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain and diarrhea, chest tightness, convulsions, breathing difficulties, and even a coma may occur when it is serious. Now, obviously, some foods at McDonald's are covered, so the spray might not actually touch the food, but it's definitely touching those open fries, which half of them have always been like fallen into the bag. And even the burgers, although they are in that like packaging or casing or whatever, it has holes. There's room for like air to go in, so some of it is definitely touching the food and poisoning people. So apparently you definitely have to tip now or your life is just in danger. Here's some responses. You think I'm eating McDonald's because I care about what happens to my body. Valid point, valid point. If you're willing to have a McDonald's burger, I guess you're willing to get sprayed by cockroach spray. That's just seasoning, of course. Because of you, I'm never tipping again. Well, I guess all your food's gonna have bug spray in it. McDonald's corporate rounding up a community notes posse. Obviously, because this might be a fake post. Obviously, if you actually did this and shared it with the internet while showing your, like, you know, name or something and making it public, you're probably gonna get arrested because, believe it or not, spraying people's food with bug spray is definitely a crime. And, well, I don't know what it falls under. Biological warfare, maybe? I don't know. Poisoning people. It's some food act in the US. I don't know. I really hope you get fired for this. I've been door dashing since 2021. While I have been angry at people in million-dollar homes for not tipping, I would never do this to them. You are absolutely shameful and deserve prison time for doing this if you did. Now, one thing that stood out to me there is being angry at people for not tipping. Like, it doesn't matter if somebody is rich. Tipping is not like based on your income or something like that. That's completely ridiculous. Like, if somebody doesn't want to tip, they're perfectly entitled not to tip. And you being entitled to a tip is actually entitlement. Best comment right here, protecting them from ants and roaches. How nice. I would like some cockroach spray in my food because, you know, you're warding off the insects. Now, there's a video by CNBC talking about tipping culture in general and how it's changed throughout the years, and I just wanted to give my thoughts here.
Tipping culture has gotten out of control. I get up to the pay window and she's like, how much do you want to tip? What am I gonna tip you for? I'm in the drive-thru.
Okay, so what people don't really seem to grasp is that you're not the only person I have to tip, and this isn't a one-time thing. What if I do lots of activities that involve tipping, right? Which a lot of people seem to do. That's gonna add up all the time, and eventually it's gonna rack up to like even $100 bill over a month, you know, even if you're just doing $2 tips. Now, I did talk about the tip entitlement entitlement from certain types of people, like a waiter at a restaurant, when the person I want to tip when I get good food is definitely the chef, yet the waiter acts as if they're entitled to the tip. Now, a bunch of waiters in my comment section got really mad about this because, oh, you don't tip waiters. Well, no, I'll tip you if you're, you know, nice and bubbly or personality or whatever, but I don't even go out to restaurants, so this is all hypothetical, right? I'm a food delivery guy, as I said, but I just want people to be real. Like, the reason people go to a restaurant is for the food, and that's where that's where we as customers want to direct our tips.
Tips have been on the rise for decades. During the 1950s, people commonly tipped 10% of the bill. By the 1970s and 1980s, that jumped to 15%. Today, people tip anywhere from 15 to 25%. According to one 2022 survey, consumers said they tipped more than 21% on average.
Dude, I'm sorry, a 20% tip is absolutely ridiculous. Is this really the stage we've gone to? So we had that viral video last time that I covered in another video where this DoorDash driver went to like a rich looking neighborhood, a rich looking house, and he was delivering pizza and he didn't get a tip, so he got really mad about it. Or I don't even remember, did he get like a $10 tip and he wanted more or something? It was just absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's the entitlement that's actually pissing me off. Like, why are you entitled to my money instead of your billion-dollar goddamn boss? Like, please, go be mad at them. You're mad at the wrong people. Dude, let me just tell you guys a story sort of related to the tip thing. So my mom was going to the grocery store the other day, and she actually had to come home bringing the items in her hand because the bag costs 5 cents, and she only bought the exact amount of money for the food, so they didn't even give her her bag. And he was just like a bit flabbergasted because these minimum wage employees are like fighting tooth and nail for these billion-dollar corporations. Like, no, I'm gonna save these 5 cents. I ain't giving you a bag. Like, I don't know what actually happens. Like, I don't think they can actually tell if you just let my mom have the bag or whatever. But I understand. I understand it's part of the job description and stuff. But it's kind of annoying because she had to carry like those like heavy milk jugs all the way back home, and it's kind of like cold to the touch as well. It's not too much of an inconvenience, but my mom was also like recovering from an injury, so it was just a really annoying situation. It just tells you that society isn't really in a pitiful state where like these employees are fighting for these billion-dollar corporations. Like, that's just not how it should be. But yeah, what a joke, dude. The bag used to be free just a while back. Like, all the prices of everything is getting more expensive. I remember like my bread is like 40 cents more expensive than last year, and it's like a regular item. That shit adds up all the time, man. You blink too quickly and the cost of every item just goes up another 10 cents, man. God damn it.
Nowadays, there are people who argue 20% is kind of a cheap tip.
Yeah, they need to be drop kicked immediately. What the hell are you talking about? 20% is a cheap tip. What the heck are you selling? Water from the fountain of youth, dude?
At every opportunity, we're being presented with a tablet that's asking us how much we'd like to tip.
In many cases, not only replacing the old-fashioned tip jars that you could feel good about throwing some spare change into, but actually suggesting tip amounts, often right in front of the employee receiving that tip. Not to mention also your dinner date and the dozen or so people standing behind you in line.
That's right, guilt-tripping people into giving a tip. Isn't that lovely? You better tip or you're gonna get socially shamed in front of everybody. Look at this loser, didn't even tip $1. Look at him, ugh, cheap-ass, cheapskate. And don't get me started on those goddamn iPads, bro. If I ever tip on an iPad, I better get a free round of Angry Birds. I swear to God, it's the least you could do.
And it's gone beyond just the tablets. The other day I was using the Hopper app to book a hotel, and it wasn't until I confirmed my payment that I realized my hotel was $10 more expensive. It turns out Hopper assumed I wanted to add a tip, and I had to go back to a prior page in order to opt out.
That is so scummy. These are the type of tactics I'm talking about. You just assume somebody's tipping $10, dude? What the heck? And in order to cancel that, you have to go back, re-enter all your payment information. Like, it's one of those things where, you know, you sign up to something and then they make it exceedingly hard to cancel, and it's like a renewing subscription. So annoying. So annoying. I actually went through the same thing with Premiere Pro the other day. Like, it wasn't working, and then I had to like cancel and redo it or something. And it was, the site just the link did not work. I had to go chat with support, and the support guy literally made me renew the subscription on the spot. That was the only way to proceed, apparently. I'm like, god damn it, you know? Anyways, click this video or I start charging for videos now, man. $5 per video. You have to leave a tip or I'll get mad at you as my customer instead of my $1 billion YouTube boss.